Hello, beautiful people. Good afternoon. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week. I hope everybody won their fantasy football matchups, even though I know that's not possible. And I hope everyone's team won in week two, which I know, again, isn't possible because I witnessed my team lose in week two, as I expected, because I always expect my team to lose because I'm a Detroit Lions fan. Detroit Lions fan. And they aren't very good at winning. At least historically, they aren't. But either way, today we are going to be. I'm going to be revealing my power rankings for week three. Hi, Jack. I don't even. Oh my God. But I'm gonna be revealing my power rankings for week three of the NFL season. Nobody's going to like them. Nobody ever does. Can't please everybody, but it'll be all right. I'll also be making some predictions. Again, something nobody will like, but I don't care too much. I don't care. But yeah. Other than that, I'll just be going through, giving my opinion on what each team did in week two of the NFL season. Hi, Jack, and others. But yeah, if you're here, thank you so much for being here, and I'll just jump right into it. All right, so here are my power rankings, Jack. I did listen to you, so I gave you the benefit of the doubt, and I did move the Giants above the Colts. You're welcome. Um, but yeah, starting off, this is a little controversial for a lot of people. The Arizona Cardinals are by far, hands down, the worst team in the NFL, and there's a lot of there's a lot of ground for that team, but I love their spirit. But I think so far the worst team in the NFL has been the Chicago Bears. At least for me, one of the most disappointing teams in the league. I was rooting for them so hard to make the playoffs. And yes, it's very early. Only two games have been played, so this is going to shift around so much as we move further into the season, obviously. But as of now, the Bears are by far the worst team. They had two winnable games, I think, and they lost both of them. Justin Fields did not look good. Justin Fields looked very bad, and I just don't think they're using him the right way. The coaching on that team is not good. The defense hasn't been pulling through, and I think so far the most disappointing team in the league is the Chicago Bears. So they, for those reasons, come in last. Now we move on to 31st, the Carolina Panthers. Really, there's been another team with very little to be excited about. Bryce Young, obviously, rookie quarterback, second game of the season, another loss. Still eager to get that first win going into Seattle next week in week three. I don't really know how likely that's going to happen, but things just aren't clicking in Carolina for that offense. Defensively, there's some bright spots. They definitely proved their worth against the New Orleans Saints, although that offense also isn't too crazy good, especially with Jamal Williams going down and Alvin Kamara suspended. Either way, Panthers have really not gotten anything going on offense. So defense is holding up a little bit, but the Falcons did give them a run for their money in week one. So they come in at 31st. Another team moving on to 30th. Another team people don't like in the NFL. They aren't a good team, okay? Houston Texans are not good. But CJ Stroud, surprisingly enough, maybe not surprising to some people because he was really good in college, has been balling out in the NFL. I believe he had over 300 yards last week against the Colts defense, which I know is the Colts defense. How good are they actually? We don't really know, but yeah, CJ Stroud had a 64% completion percentage, 384 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 103.5 passer rating. pretty good for a rookie quarterback, much better than what Bryce Young has been putting up. I like CJ Stroud. I like what they've been doing so far. Obviously, running the ball, they really haven't gotten anything I would know because I'm a Dameon Pierce fantasy owner. Hey, Dog said that he was going to get over 1,000 yards rushing this season, and so far, that's cap. He's not that team has not been getting anything going running the football. Throwing it, though, things are lighting up. Will Anderson, I'm excited to see what he does. The defense, of course, hasn't been that impressive thus far, but I'm excited for what's to come for the Houston Texans. I don't know how many games they're going to win. There's really not a lot of winnable games. Okay, there's some winnable games on the schedule, but last week I thought was one of them, and they didn't win. So, I don't know. We'll see. Moving on to 29th, the Arizona Cardinals. Look, on paper, this roster is not pretty. James Conner balling out. Everyone else on this team, they're playing all right. They're 0-2. 2 losses against the Commanders and the New York Giants. And this is by far the team that has been berated the most. If you look at other NFL power rankings, this team is constantly at the bottom of these lists. And I want you guys to think about this. They could have been 2-0. They aren't, and I know the key word is could have, but they could have. They came really close to winning both games, week 1 against the Commanders and week 2 against the New York Giants. Obviously, giving up a 20-point lead isn't very encouraging at all. But I'm liking the spirit on this team. They obviously want to win these football games. And despite their, lackluster roster, they're impressing me. They're still ranked 29th. Joshua Dobbs is carrying. Let's see what his numbers are at as far as his home games, which was last week. Last week he was 21 for 31. 67% completion percentage, 228 passing yards, and a touchdown. Not bad at all. He had a pair of touchdowns too, a rushing one as well. So Joshua Dobbs, despite just getting on this team, has been proving his worth. And the reason, I thought Colt McCoy was for sure the starter. I didn't think the Cardinals will be winning any games till Kyler Murray came back. If he does, they drop Colt McCoy, trade for Joshua Dobbs, and now I think potentially, against who, I don't know, but potentially the Arizona Cardinals could muster up a win very soon in the NFL season versus week 9 or week 10. Moving on to 28th. Now, I know this seems a little low, but the Broncos are another team so far this season that I am significantly disappointed in. They're embarrassing me. Okay, I predicted them mid-season or in the offseason, midsummer, to go 12-5, and they already have 2 losses, one against the Commanders, one against the Raiders. Both teams that they should win, or they should beat, and both games they should win, and they didn't. So it seems to me that tides are staying the same. The offensive line for the Denver Broncos has looked significantly disappointing. Russell Wilson, on the other hand, is showing improvement with Sean Payton as his head coach. There were a few mishaps here and there. Obviously, I don't know if everyone saw that game, but the way that game ended was very, very cool. There was a giant 50-yard Hail Mary thrown by Russell Wilson, somehow caught in the end zone by a Broncos receiver. I believe it bounced off a helmet of a Commanders defender, but failed to convert on the 2-point conversion, and the Commanders walk away in Denver with the win. But at the same time, the Broncos had a 3-score lead. So, oh boy. Yeah, okay. So I've ranked the Falcons above the Giants. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but I did rank the Falcons above the Giants. As you can tell, there's no Falcon to be found on this list so far. Now moving on to 27th. Now I will apologize for the fluctuation in my rankings because the Raiders and Broncos were teams, I think they were 17 and 18 last week, and now they're 27 and 28. Raiders looked terrible last week. They got blown out by the Buffalo Bills, and I know it's the Buffalo Bills, but 38-10. There are not a lot of bright spots on this Raiders team, and Josh Jacobs has been significantly disappointing for me as well. So, I think that one win on the road in Denver, which is still impressive, isn't as impressive as I had originally thought. Moving on to 26, someone that has been way more impressive than I thought they would have is quarterback Anthony Richardson. I will be honest, I don't know the status of his injury, but Gardner Minshew did do a very good job filling in for Anthony Richardson again against the Houston Texans. So how good are the Colts? I don't know. They could still be a bottom team in the NFL season this season. But I like what I'm seeing. Anthony Richardson so far has been playing the best out of all three rookie quarterbacks, which is not something I would have personally predicted at all. And I think a big part of that is that the Colts offensive line is finally figuring things out again. They were top 10 for a few years with Quentin Nelson on that line and others. And then last season, they took a huge step back. They were awful last season. Matt Ryan, Nick Foles, Sam Ehlinger all got killed behind that offensive line last season. Things are lighting up for the Colts. I am excited for this Colts team as well. I want to see if they can muster up maybe more than 6 wins. I'll be happy with that. All right, moving on. This is where I have the Giants. So Jack and my mom. Jack, you said originally had the Colts above the Giants. I don't know what everybody else thinks about that, but if I were to choose between the two teams, say these two teams are playing in the Super Bowl on a neutral field, I would pick the New York Giants. I think Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than Anthony Richardson, obviously. Saquon Barkley isn't healthy right now, but with him on the team, that offense, in the second half of that game, that was an elite offense. But I can't trust them to do that consistently. I'm sorry. Is that too low, Mom? I'm sorry. But yeah, New York Giants sit at 25th for right now. I do think that they will improve throughout the season, but that was just such a terrible start for the season, dropping 60-0 through your first 6 quarters. Not a good look. Moving on to 24th, the Minnesota Vikings. Now, this was a team that I was pretty low on from the beginning of the season. I was really low on their defense, and that has been losing them the games because Kirk Cousins has been insane. I love Kirk Cousins. The Minnesota Vikings need to figure out how to stop fumbling the ball, because if they didn't do that, there's a good chance they win Thursday night, because the Eagles really haven't been looking as dominant as most people would have expected. But they did just trade for Cam Akers, which I think is a good move. I hate that as a Lions fan. But yeah, Alexander Mattison been very disappointing so far this season. Not really any options running the football, although they hadn't needed it, because throwing the ball with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Edison, and TJ Hawkinson on that team has been insane. Obviously, the defense has been losing the games, although they are playing much better than I expected. So, I don't know. The Vikings got a date with the 0-2 Chargers this week. Maybe things can start turning around, and this team will climb the ranking more as the season progresses. But as I'll move on to 23rd, the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans shocked me. I shouldn't be shocked. They surprised me last week by beating the Chargers at home in overtime. Ryan Tannehill played well, good enough. The whole team played good enough because they got the win. And the Chargers they always do this. They're supposed to be good. Believe it or not, the Los Angeles Chargers are supposed to be a good football team, but they always find a way to choke easy games like this. Maybe it wasn't an easy game. Maybe I've significantly underestimated the Tennessee Titans, which I probably have, because Mike Vrabel is an insane head coach. Tennessee Titans sit at 23rd for now. Moving on to 22nd. This is another thing I moved around from. If you saw my Instagram post, I had the Pittsburgh Steelers much lower because despite winning on Thursday or on Monday night, they didn't do it in a great fashion. The Browns didn't play particularly well. At least Deshaun Watson didn't, and they still almost won the game. If it wasn't for two bad defensive or giveaways and defensive touchdowns, the Steelers would be 0-2. Browns would be 2-0. But you got to give them credit where credit is due. That defense played phenomenal. TJ Watt is back. And a lot of people have the Steelers a lot higher now, and I still don't know why that win is more of a convincing one. So I'll have them sitting at 22nd. I do have to move them up, though, because despite getting blown out week 1 by the 49ers, they did get blown out by the 49ers and then did beat a team that beat the Cincinnati Bengals. So maybe that's the logic behind it. I don't know. Moving on to 21st, we have the Washington Commanders. This is the first 2-0 team on this list. Obviously, congratulations to the Washington Commanders for being 2-0. I thought you'd be 1-1. That's fine. But 2 very close wins against 2 teams below them. I can't really rank them that much higher. I don't think they're that much better than a lot of these other teams. They were down 21-3 against the Denver Broncos. They were losing against the Arizona Cardinals. Sam Howell is improving, I want to say. Starting off the NFL season, I was a little bit shaky of him. Last week was a little bit of a better story. So we'll see what happens with the Washington Commanders if they prove themselves more to me. I was obviously higher on this team than a lot of other people, but now I'm kind of lower because I've seen some people rank the Commanders in the top 10. And this team may be better than people had originally thought, but there's no way that this team is a top 10 team. All right, so I'll move on now. Yeah. All right. Numbers 9 through 20. 20th, we have the Green Bay Packers. Sorry, Faison, I don't know if you're watching this, but you guys did just lose to the Atlanta Falcons. I'll give Falcons fans credit here. That was a great win, a comeback win for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, that is something you don't see every week. It really is a crazy season, isn't it, when you got the Atlanta Falcons having having a comeback win. Mason, who's awful? My rankings, the Packers, or I don't know. But yeah. 18 is wild. Okay, I'll get to y'all in a second. But wait your turn. But y'all, okay. Miller liked my ranking, so I'm gonna roll with that. But 19th, the New Orleans Saints. Oh my! All right, the New Orleans Saints. This is another team I see a bunch of people ranking in the top 10. New Orleans Saints are not a top 10 team. They have not been playing like it. Yes, I've expected them to win their first 2 games.
Falcons are not better than the Patriots.
Do you want to let them know that?
Falcons are not better than the Patriots. That was my
I don't know. Did you guys hear it? All right. Go argue with them, dog. Yeah, that was my roommate. He says, I don't know if you got that, but he says the Falcons are not better than the Patriots. Those were his 2 cents. But anyways, moving. Yeah, so back to the New Orleans Saints. They are 2-0. They're not playing like a top 10 team. That offense isn't scaring me at all. The defense might be. The defense is good. Defense is good. Offense, I'm not as convinced. And I think, they almost lost both of these games, and I think these both should have been way easier wins. The Patriots are 0-2 against 2 top 5 teams, and they lost by 1 score. So that's my reason. I'll get to them in a second. But for the Atlanta Falcons, okay, look, that was those 2 great wins for the Atlanta Falcons. Not taking anything. Holly made it. That's great. I am scared for Sunday. I don't know if you've seen the injury report, for the Detroit Lions, but half of our starters are out. I can read it out. Like, the Falcons win would not shock me at all. Taylor Decker, Kirby Joseph, David Montgomery, Emmanuel Mosley, Amon-Ra St. Brown, our starting guard, I don't know how to say his name, Josh Reynolds, Antoine Green, and Frank Ragnow. Those are 3 starting offensive linemen, 2 starting wide receivers, our starting running back, 2 starting safeties, and 1 starting cornerback. But he hasn't played all season. I am making excuses. Our whole team's going to fucking lose. Yeah, I am making excuses. What do you want me to do? Okay. The Atlanta Falcons, I'm going to say it right now, have not beaten anyone good. They have not beaten anyone I deem worthy to rank them higher than 16th. You can make the argument, higher than 14th. 14th would be my ceiling for the Falcons. I'm not putting them above the Bengals. Ugh. But all right, maybe, honestly, I don't know. How is Atlanta's rush defense? Let's take a look. Okay, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. I would say there was a Gibbs breakout game because no David Montgomery. Who else is going to do it, right? And I don't think, especially if Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't play, which I think, knock on wood, I think he'll be fine. I think he will play. But in the event that he doesn't, it's not good. It's not good. They average 119 yards allowed running the ball per game. That's not good. That's over 100 yards per game. It's not good. You guys let Chuba Hubbard get some ground on y'all. Anyways, Falcons at 18th. I have the Buccaneers above the Falcons because I think Baker Mayfield has been balling his ass off. I do know about Calais. I'm not scared. No. I have the numbers in front of me. Calais Campbell is not, he's good, obviously. He's a great player, great guy. I love Calais Campbell. But he's not a huge difference maker. Okay, that's an understatement. But he's not going to single-handedly make the Falcons' rush defense good. And he hasn't. Hi, Sutton. How's it going? We're arguing about the Atlanta Falcons because I don't think they're actually that good. Desmond Ridder is not better than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield was reading signs against the Minnesota Vikings, was accurate about it, and then won the game on the road. And granted, yes, Baker Mayfield didn't beat anybody good either, but that defense is looking for real. Baker Mayfield's looking for real. And you got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin still on that team. So that's why the Buccaneers are above. But moving on to 16th. Now, if y'all want to say, hey, Falcons should be above the Jets and Zach Wilson, that's fine. Because I really have no idea. I have the Falcons winning, I think my numbers were 33-24. Damn. Sutton, all fairness to you, that's probably a good move. That's fair. That's a lot of pain to put through someone. I wasn't even a Falcons fan, and I was so pissed off that game. But so the Jets, right? Zach Wilson beat the Bills. He did that last season, so that's not crazy that happened. But their defense is solid. They didn't look solid last week, but the Dallas Cowboys do look insanely good. I don't know. Zach Wilson just sucks, man. I want Faison's here. Okay, Faison. What do you think of where I rank the Atlanta Falcons? I need the expert opinion right here. I'm gonna glaze Faison all I want. Faison, I need your opinions, man. Who invited this guy? I invited this man. Facts. Faison, are the Falcons better than the Patriots? I need a answer. I will not live if the Falcons beat the Lions. If the Falcons beat the Lions, I will never hear the end of it. I might just explode. I might as well. 2 or 3 spots higher. I said the ceiling for the Falcons would be 14th, but I'm not going any higher than that. Whatever. We'll see on what you call it. Sunday, that's right. So my friend Josh just texted me. He's a Falcons fan. He didn't talk about this though, but he was saying Cowboys cornerback Trevon Diggs is out for the season. Tore his ACL. Honestly, I think he's one of the most overrated players in the NFL, so the Cowboys might be all right. You think the Packers are 15th? Okay. You know, if you swap all those around, it doesn't really change much. Yes, Sunday is going to be a rough day. I'm going to be so stressed out. I have white hairs, y'all. I'm 20 years old, and I have white hairs, and I boil it down to my football team. Lucky me. Anyways, so moving on to, I guess I'll move on to the Patriots. I already talked about them a little, but I have the Patriots at 15. That defense is looking fantastic. They had close games against 2 of, as you will see, top 5 teams, and they're pretty much consensus top 5 teams based off of every other power ranking that I've looked at. So I'm glad Steven and I agree on one factor, is that the Bears are terrible. Oh boy. All right, so moving on to 14th, I have another 0-2 team, the Los Angeles Chargers. And if they go 0-3, y'all need to leave him alone. Stop spamming 25-24. This was going to happen my next stream when the Lions lose. Jordan Love is playing really well. We'll see how long that lasts, though, because obviously he's played 2 games. I think I've made it worse. I'm sorry, Faison. Anyways, the Los Angeles Chargers are 0-2. Lost against Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins. Almost won against both teams, I guess. So they could be 2-0. But now they have a date at Minnesota without Austin Eckler, probably, which sucks for my fantasy team because I, had him. Okay. You can say the Falcons are are better than this, but they are not. Desmond Ridder is not that good. He's better than I thought, but he's still not that good. Anyways, Chargers, they'll drop significantly if they keep disappointing. But I'm going to go with my gut and say that they're playing a lot worse than the team actually is, and they'll bounce back. Same thing with the team above them. This team is like dog shit. This team went to the Super Bowl like 2 years ago. Steven, you can't. That's not. I'm not giving up Bijan. I don't do trades. Unless I did one with Steven last year, but I won the league, so it was worth it. But Cincinnati Bengals are 0-2. And y'all watch my predictions, so y'all know. But I called it. I think that motherfucker Owen was flaming me for it as I did it. And I was right. Don't look at any of my other predictions, though. Don't look at the Denver Broncos prediction. Don't look at any of that. Just focus only on my Cincinnati Bengals prediction. I had them starting 0-2, and they'd end up fine. So I am not worried about the Cincinnati Bengals at all. Give Joe Burrow some time to heal. Assuming he doesn't hurt himself, knock on wood. The Cincinnati Bengals will be fine. Moving on to 12th, the Cleveland Browns, and they're only ranked that high because of how much they beat the Bengals by. Like, I can't rank the Bengals above the Browns. That just feels wrong after they beat the shit out of them. But the Browns, Deshaun Watson looks not good. I don't know what happened to the Deshaun Watson that we got for like the first 3 years. I know we all know exactly what happened. He got a massage or something. You need a collab, dude. I'm just gonna start figuring stuff out for collabs and whatnot. So once I figure it out, dude, I'll let you know, and all of y'all can come on. You go into the gym. And Jack probably. Zane. Well, see, that's one thing. I'm glad I'm not here to Zane. I don't know if you're ever gonna watch this, but we're both pretty much the same football fan. From what I can pick up is like we both get equally passionate about it, about teams that are almost equally disappointing. So, yeah, I think if we were to watch this game together, there would be a lot of emotions on both sides, and it just would be for the better. Holly, what do you want to be on the podcast? Do you want to do your uniform ranking? Okay, I can't have everybody on. I don't have enough hardware for that. You guys are kind of on right now. I'm not even going to lie to you because it's only all of y'all. You know? So we're all just having a giant conversation. This is what I love. Thank you. We should do some Green Bay Packers predictions for you, Steven. I know you'd like that. You can just be a special guest. It doesn't matter what you do. All right. Moving on to just outside of the top 10, the Jacksonville Jaguars. You get first dibs. I don't know. Faison's been talking about it for a while. I need to figure. That's so far in the future. I have like no time to do this because of work and school, which sucks. But it is what it is. Y'all are funny, man. All right, so the Jacksonville Jaguars, 1-1, lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. Nothing too surprising there. What's his name? Frank Clark? I don't know. That's embarrassing. I don't remember his name. But the defensive, Chris Jones. There you go. Chris Jones not holding out anymore, and we could tell. We could tell. Jacksonville Jaguars do not look good at all. They scored 9 points, and that was supposed to be a high-powered offense, top 5 offense. Now they still probably will be, but Trevor Lawrence, he's on like 2 of my fantasy teams, and he did not meet the standard. He was not great. So I need the Jaguars to improve. Only reason why the Lions are above them is because the Lions beat the Chiefs. I hate football so much. I hate football so much. If all these people don't play on Sunday, I will cry. I'm a grown man, and I will shed tears out of my eye sockets. Holly will love it. Go ahead. What are you saying, man? Nate's gonna do all right, someone explain to me what a milk mile is. I'm sure Luke might have explained it to me, but I don't remember. This is a wild combo. I think everybody that's watching this stream is participating in conversations. So I love it. Even my mom. Y'all are ruthless. Damn. Okay. Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions, despite losing, did play well on Sunday. There was plenty of dumbassery mistakes. Fumbling on the first play of the second half. Pick 6. Those 2 things don't happen. The Lions win the game. So just limiting those mistakes is what needs to happen, and everyone come back from injury, and then I believe the Detroit Lions can beat the Atlanta Falcons. I said it. I said the fantasy pun. But like, what's the milk mile? Like, you have to run a mile and chug like a gallon of milk or something? That sounds awful. That sounds like someone's going to die. But yeah, so Detroit Lions, definitely some cleaning up to do. Hopefully they can get it done against the Falcons, although, the Falcons secondary is looking a lot scarier than they have been in years past. And obviously the running game is extremely deadly. People are, okay. I think I'm following. I am in that league, right? I am in that league, right? That's crazy. Anyways, number 9. Again, I'm sorry for the fluctuation because this team was nowhere near the top 10 before, and it makes me look very biased, and maybe I am. But prior to the season starting, I was super high on the Seattle Seahawks. I thought they were going to destroy the Rams. I don't know how y'all are going to keep track of that, but good luck. But Seattle Seahawks, I had them in my top 10 like the whole time. I thought this team improved significantly. I think Geno Smith is going to be good. Pete Carroll knows what he's doing. Plenty of young stars on this team. And they come out week 1 against the Rams, and they just looked so bad. So bad. And I was thinking, okay, I was completely wrong. Seattle Seahawks are not good. The Lions will still lose to them because they're Detroit Lions. But the Seattle Seahawks are really good. Or are not good. But then it turns out, there you go. Another thing me and Steven agree on. The Seattle Seahawks need to be ranked a lot higher because a lot of people are sleeping on them. I'm telling you, they're going to be a force to reckon with in the playoffs. All right, moving on to my top 10. And this is going to come as a shocker. Not a shocker. Top 8. Yes. So there's a little bit of some question marks in here. And I hate it. I know what everybody is thinking. And I always have some random ass Cowboys fan jump in this stream. It's a new one every time. And thank you. I welcome you. You can celebrate for now. I'm sure you guys won't end at the start of the season. What are my thoughts on Jackson Smith and Jigba? He should definitely be catching more passes for my fantasy team, but other than that, I don't really have too much of an opinion on him so far. Hasn't really gotten the looks, as many looks as he probably wanted. Falcons number 1. Okay, guys. But I think giving him the chance, he will be a good player. But yeah, these are my top 8 teams. Very controversial. I have not seen anybody rank the Rams at 8th. And I believe NFL.com has the Rams at 22nd, but I'm sure you've heard my spiel before about the Rams, how this isn't the same Rams team because only 3 of their starters remain, and only 3 of those starters remain from last season, and it's a whole new team. But this Rams front office, they know what they're doing. Puka, two weeks ago, I had no fucking clue who that was, and he's breaking receiving records. Then they have Cooper Kupp injured, so he's gonna come back. Tutu Atwell also had over 100-yard game. Thank you, Faison. Switch Dolphins and yeah, maybe. Y'all need to stop. Steven, you can't bring up that NFC Championship. You know what that's going to bring, right? Like, you can't brag about that NFC Championship because of the aftermath. Everybody knows the aftermath. Faison, there's like so many defenses you could have to this. Okay, there you go. There's some stuff. But anyways, I was berating the Rams. I thought the Rams were terrible. The Rams sucked. No way that they're going to beat the Seahawks. They're going to get killed. And they're killing it. And Matthew Stafford, at least in his first game, was not sacked once. And that is a huge part to this team's success. is protecting Matthew Stafford because he's an old man and he needs to be protected or else he will die. There you go. There you go, Faison. Stick up for yourself, buddy. All right. 7th to the Bills. Week 1 loss against the Jets. Who cares? That happened last season. Great statement win against the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, again, it's one of the worst teams in the league. It is what it is, but a scoreline of 38-10 is what we expect from the Buffalo Bills playing against the Las Vegas Raiders, or at least playing against a bad team. That's probably exceeding expectations. So Bills are still good. Congratulations, Bills. Good job on winning your first NFL game in a great fashion. Josh Allen was great. All right, number 6. Now these top 6 teams are pretty standard. This is scratch. Everybody knows. So Baltimore Ravens haven't moved since last week. Great win, great divisional win in Cincinnati. Zay Flowers is looking like a stud, and Lamar Jackson is, although probably not as of now, his 2019 self is improving, I guess. Even though we all knew he was good. Moving on to number 5, though. This is probably the lowest the Chiefs will ever be this season unless they somehow lose to the Bears. If they lose to the Bears, I'm sorry, I don't think I can put the Chiefs in the top 10. I don't know what happens if the Chiefs lose to the Bears. If the number 5 team loses to the Chicago Bears. They won't. It won't happen. But if it does, I have no idea what to do. But Patrick Mahomes, at least in the first half of that game last week, wasn't looking his greatest. Again, receivers on the Kansas City Chiefs were just not getting it done. The defense, however, looked significantly improved. Despite that, they barely etched out a win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Of course, lost to the Detroit Lions week 1. Moving on, I had to put the Miami Dolphins above the Kansas City Chiefs because they have been by far the best team in the AFC. Tua Tagovailoa is having a tremendous start to the season. Despite a few interceptions, he's slinging the ball, making completions, completing passes. Of course, that's very easy when you have both Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill on the other side. Moving on to number 3, Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Faison, I do agree what you say. If you ask me who's winning this game on a neutral field, I'll probably say the Eagles because that roster is so stacked. They should be playing so much better than how they are, and I think it comes down to coaching. But we'll see what happens for the Eagles. I predicted them to get 2 regular season losses, and I don't know if that's going to happen. That's kind of true. Teams beat themselves. I know from experience that teams beat themselves. I watch it every Sunday. Wait, come on. I watch it every Sunday. It's a win's a win. A win's a win. Falcons, that was a great effort. Great game. I was so happy. I'm sorry, FaZe. I still want the Packers to lose. Made my Sunday better after watching these guys lose. Anyways, top 2 teams by far in the NFL so far. Don't think it's really a question. It's either the 49ers or it's either the Dallas Cowboys. I've seen 49ers plenty more times, but so far the Dallas Cowboys have outscored their opponents 70-10. Granted, they played the Giants and the Jets, both New York teams. The Giants, I don't fucking know what happened that day. I know my mom and Jack want to forget that ever happened, and I'm sorry that I keep bringing it up, but it was a statement by the Dallas Cowboys because I don't think the New York Giants are as bad as a team as they look so far on paper. But, still huge statement wins for the Dallas Cowboys. And the Jets just beat the Bills. So they've proven that they can win big games, despite Zach Wilson being awful. Now, 49ers, they're still a great team. They're obviously, if you think the 49ers were better than the Cowboys, all credit to you. I had them ranked above the Cowboys last week. A couple injuries piled up for the Dallas Cowboys, so we'll see what happens in weeks to come. And the 49ers, they might be the team that makes the run and goes undefeated for a long time. They play tonight though, and one thing I do want to mention is that every time a stat line is brought up prior to a game happening, for example, Jared Goff almost breaking the consecutive passes record without interception, that was mentioned probably like 5 times before the game on Sunday, and he threw his first interception. So I saw some posts that Brock Purdy is 7-0 in the regular season. And so now I have a feeling that maybe the Giants pull it off. Now, I'm not picking the Giants to win. But I think they have a much better chance than a lot of people are giving them. A lot of it is because of my superstition about them mentioning Brock Purdy's undefeated stat line. But anyways, now that we're done with our power rankings, I guess we can move on to my predictions. This is the score prediction for tonight. So we have the Giants at the San Francisco 49ers. I have the San Francisco 49ers getting the dub 30-20. So you do think the Giants win tonight? All right, see, a lot of people are predicting that. And honestly, like knowing the Giants from last season, this would be like one of those random ass games that they'd win. 49ers by 40. Two very different sides. I think I'm meeting in the middle, if anything. I think this is a reasonable score line to expect. Giants, maybe they figured things out. Arthur, you better be careful. Better be careful talking about my mom's G-Men like that. But yeah, so that's my prediction for the game tonight. I will now, let's see if I can find it. See, the thing I would disagree with is McCaffrey has been super efficient, like extra efficient this season. Defensive tutty. We'll see. The Giants' defense so far has not been very impressive. I think, if anything, offensively, Daniel Jones will start working up some magic. Although this is the best defense in the NFL, so we'll see what happens. Not a boy Faison. But anyway, these are my pigskin pick'em. I obviously, if you look at my record on the season, I am not doing the greatest. 82%. Dog, I'm in college and I can't tell you what an allegory is. I used to know, but once you learn that, unless you want to be like an English teacher or something with having to do with writing, you'll never know that. This is the weekly Faison flame. This is the roast of Faison. Y'all are just going off. You know, at Georgia, like an 4.0, like an A is like a 95. So an A minus is like, you know, it's an A, but it's not like an A, you know. Y'all are hilarious. Okay. Anyways, let's scroll through these week 1 matchups and see what happens. Yeah, I have the Browns winning against the Tennessee Titans. I know Nick Chubb is hurt, and that was heartbreaking. I hate that so much. Everybody, bye, Mom. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Yeah, 98% picked the San Francisco 49ers. I'm kind of surprised. Anyways, I think the Cleveland Browns will win against the Tennessee Titans at home despite losing Nick Chubb. They have Kareem Hunt and, what was his name? Is it Jerome Ford? That popped off on Monday night in place of him. And again, I don't think the Tennessee Titans, despite me thinking Matt Vrabel is Matt Vrabel, right? Despite me thinking Vrabel is an amazing head coach, I don't think the Tennessee Titans are going to be good enough to get the job done. See, that's the thing. This is a little bit of a gray area for me. AP humor. Titans by 7. All right, it's 42-58. Falcons and Lions, I think the Lions will win it, assuming everybody is healthy. Now, once everybody is not healthy, and I'm making excuses, but I do not care in the slightest. If 3 of our starting offensive linemen are out, Falcons all the way. No, I don't see anything happening with Detroit, but I'll pick the Detroit Lions for right now. Who win this matchup? New Orleans Saints at the Green Bay Packers. I think the Green Bay Packers are going to win this game because I don't think the New Orleans Saints have been nearly as impressive as many people are saying. Green Bay Packers had one great game against the Chicago Bears, kept it close in Atlanta, but then fumbled the bag. You guys all know that. Either way, I have the Green Bay Packers taking the dub at home. Who will win this matchup? Denver Broncos at the Miami Dolphins. As I've said this time and time again. There's plenty. I appreciate that, Faison. There are every week, every year around this time, there's undefeated teams and there's winless teams. Those undefeated teams are eventually going to make a mistake early on, and the winless teams will be hungry for a win. This isn't one of those games. The Denver Broncos have looked very pathetic, and again, the Miami Dolphins have looked like the best team in the AFC. So I'm going with the Dolphins. I can't do anything about that. The 0-2 Los Angeles Chargers versus the 0-2 Minnesota Vikings. I didn't think either of these teams would be 0-2 heading into this. But despite that, I'm picking the Vikings at home because I think the Chargers running game is going to look awful due to the fact that they are missing Austin Eckler. Again, Austin Eckler isn't confirmed out or anything, but we shall see. Now, this is one that I'm surprised of because I did pick the Patriots to win on the road against the New York Jets, and so did everybody else. 58% of people on ESPN Pigskin Pick'em picked the New England Patriots to win, and I think the Patriots get the job done against Zach Wilson. 2 great defenses. I don't know. What's up, Porter? Your picks are 49ers. Okay, let's see. So I agree with 49ers. You got... Oh, he's got my Lions. All right, he's got the Titans. So, Faison, this guy agrees with you, saying that Tennessee could get that upset win. He's not glazing the Lions. No, he does not come back this week. I hope he comes back this week and sucks. Oh, you got a 14-8. I got you there. Barely. I don't want Jeff Okudah to come back. Run game more and trust their line. Because Breece Hall balled out week 1. Wasn't really utilized in week 2. They definitely tried throwing the ball more in. Zach Wilson, again, sucks. I'm not a Falcons fan. I'm a Lions fan, but everybody else in that chat is a Falcons fan except for Faison Niazi. So, yeah. I apologize if you get bombarded by some Atlanta Falcons shenanigans. All right, anyways, who will win this matchup? I've Washington Commanders, again, congratulations on being 2-0. I think the Buffalo Bills, after what I saw last week, get the job done. Go into Washington and win that game. You're a Chiefs fan? Oh, I'm sorry, dog. I mean, I'm not sorry. You've won plenty of Super Bowls, and you're going to win more continuously for the next 10 years. But I am a Lions fan, and I was super excited week 1 when that happened. So it doesn't mean anything. The defense came back. It's whatever. They're from Atlanta. Or Faison, they're from Georgia. Rice didn't catch that. I don't remember, man. I know Kadarius Toney didn't catch many balls. See, this is the shit I'm talking about. The Desmond Ridder is better than Mahomes. Look, if I were you, I wouldn't be worried like at all because you have Patrick Mahomes on your team. Okay, that's what you meant. Yeah, the pick six was in between Kadarius Toney's hands. Zesty emoji. More glazed than Krispy Kreme. Y'all need to stop. Yeah, Kadarius Toney sold. I don't know. Giants fans were laughing at that one until Sunday night. Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Definitely the Jags, right? I mean, all right, hold on. The Texans did beat the Jags in Jacksonville last season. So, maybe. He's fucking with you. Desmond Ridder is the greatest quarterback to watch the face of the earth. All right. Jeez. Colts at the Baltimore Ravens. Colts only 4% picked. I should probably know that if I'm going to do like a podcast thing, whether or not Anthony Richardson. Yes, you're getting trolled. You're getting trolled. I apologize. You've been warned. You've been warned. But yeah, as much as I love what Anthony Richardson's doing, I don't know if he's going to be healthy. Gardner Minshew looked all right. Baltimore Ravens look pretty good, and they have home field advantage in this game. I'm going to give the edge to the Ravens. Seattle Seahawks against the Carolina Panthers. Now, if they played like they did week 1, then they have a good shot at losing this game. 31-17. Are you just making up numbers on the spot? I mean, that's a realistic scoreline, but I don't know. Whenever I do that, I have to I overthink it so much, but I do get it pretty close. I will say, in my history, my fraud. Oh my god! If the Falcons had Patrick Mahomes, they'd be unstoppable. That Porter, you have nothing to worry about for like the next 10 years. Don't do that for me, dog. I'm trying to be nice. I need a picture of that. That's hilarious. All right. Anyways, the Carolina Panthers, again, like I said earlier, I'm not picking this upset, but I will not be shocked if the Panthers actually win this game. Now, you heard that correctly. If the Panthers could definitely win this game because they did last season. Actually, I think my friend texted me saying that Bryce Young was hurt. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm checking that. And to be fair, I didn't not prep. I think that's actually what was that news is not out. Okay, he didn't practice. Okay, he's not. Okay, no. Bryce Young is not playing against the Seahawks. Wait, but that means I think that's so because I know that kid Mason, and you just called him Sped respectfully. So I just took a picture of that for my personal benefit. But that means Andy Dalton's playing that game, right? That might be an improvement. Sam Darnold's on the 49ers. Yeah, Andy Dalton. Oh, I can see it. I can envision the NFL script writers going crazy on this one, having the Panthers win this game. Not Bryce Young's first win though. I'm not betting on it. I'll pick the Seahawks Again, I had them in the top 10. Okay. Porter, if y'all fucking lose this game, I can't confidently say that Chiefs are top 10. I know they'll win it. 98% of people pick the Chiefs. I don't know what the 2% are thinking. I guess they're all Bears fans. Collab with Steven, obsessed sports kid. All right, again, another 98 to 2%. Don't see a world where the Arizona Cardinals win this one. Sorry, Cardinals fans, but I think you are all well aware of that as well. Okay, hey, what? For anyone listening to what I'm saying, who's gonna win the Steelers Raiders game? I need to know. So I picked the Raiders at home, and I wouldn't be surprised either way. Let them know. Bruce Young, Raiders by 3. All right, that's the closure I needed. No. All right, other people are okay. Y'all are backing me up on this. It's 50-50 on here, so I'm going with the Raiders at home. The Steelers, their ranking goes way up if they can keep, or their Steelers, if they can get a win out of this on the road. This is, seeing this game on the schedule for a Monday night game, originally I thought this would be a terrible game, but honestly, this is a good game. Still, 90% of people pick the Eagles, including myself. Although I do think the Buccaneers have been very impressive so far, exceeded expectations. Are they one of the best teams in the league? I wouldn't say so just yet. You're not going to be arrested. No, I swear, it's just funny. It's hilarious. Oh, wait, okay. Porter, where would you rank the Atlanta Falcons if you had to? Like, from a scale of 1 to 32? Just a general area. Where are you going to rank the Atlanta Falcons? I need your opinion on this. Also, okay, I'll save that for later because that might be... I need to know this opinion. Mason, stop! Oh my God. This is wild. Okay, well, while y'all think on that, I'll let that marinate. Monday night, we have the Los Angeles Rams and Cincinnati Bengals. Originally, I thought another blowout win for the Cincinnati Bengals, but apparently not. Apparently not. Because the Rams look pretty damn good. Cincinnati Bengals look pretty damn bad. But still, despite that, 64% of people picked the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game, including myself. I think this losing streak ends Monday. They are going to win against the Rams on Monday. I'll start worrying. Hot take, Rams 28 to 30. That's crazy. Oh my, that's you just man. So a lot of people are picking the Rams. Okay. All right, so you think Burrow plays better, but it's not enough. I think we started seeing the tide shift, kind of like the Giants, except they didn't get the job done. Obviously, the Cincinnati Bengals. He doesn't have your IP address. He does not have your IP address. He has no method of getting that. But obviously, the Rams look like the better team. But I have a gut feeling Cincinnati's going to turn it around. Joe Burrow is going to be back to the way that he was, and the Cincinnati Bengals snub out a win. Oh, I heard about that. That there's some rumors that a Bears coach was he was like his home was swatted or something. We don't know. I didn't. The report didn't have what it was, but I'm sure it's like child porn or something. And he's not going to be allowed to coach ever again anywhere. He's not gonna. Guys, stop. They're not going. They all have. They're a bunch of. No, they're not. They don't have no method of getting that to you. I swear on my mama. But yeah, I think. Is this an upset? Am I picking an upset here that the Bengals are going to win this game? I don't even know. I don't even know who the favorite is. Let's see. Rams and Bengals odds. Okay, so the Bengals are 1.5 point favorites. We'll see what happens. We're very used to seeing the Bengals in this situation, by the way. So I think they bounce back. This is an 0-2 team. I'm not really worried about it all. If they went 0-3, obviously some concerns will rise. But as of now, I'm not worried about the Bengals. They'll be all right. And with that concludes everything I wanted to talk about. I don't know if y'all have anything you need to get off your chest besides the wrong statement, the incorrect statement that Desmond Ridder is a decent. Okay, here's the. You think they get 6 or 7? Well, I can tell you this: they are not black. They aren't black. The Bengals are, man. I think the Bengals. 2 losses in the beginning of the season is not enough to convince me that they aren't making the playoffs. If they lose like 4 games, okay, that I'm gonna start worrying. But I think the Ravens will win the division. I'm not making you a mod. Arthur's not black. Y'all need to chill. Okay. All right. Anyways, I think Bengals will be fine. There might be like a 5th or 6th seed, like Faison said, but they will be okay. And so will Porter, because none of these kids have access to his address. When will I be back in town? I'll be back in town actually tomorrow because I'm dog sitting. Mason. He's kind of a loose cannon. Okay. I'm ending it here. To all of you in here that are not subscribed, I'd very much appreciate it if you do subscribe. Then you can get notified whenever these happen again. I also have an Instagram where I post rankings and updates about when I'm going to be live. So, yeah. Instagram is Pro Nerd Sports. Everything's the same on every social media. So if you want to go check it out there. Other than that, I love you all. Thank you all for participating in this conversation. This was really fun, despite you guys harassing Porter. But yeah, I don't know when this will happen again. Probably sometime next week. I wish everyone's team good luck to my Falcons fans. I wish the best of luck. May the best team win. And yeah, have a good one. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye. Have a good one. I'll see y'all in the next one.